Hey there, crew. Welcome back to another Home Media Blitz video. I'm Eddie, your host, coming to you from the beautiful sunny West Palm Beach. Now, check out the view over here. We're down south working. Gus is actually back up in Jersey with Justin. In fact, Justin's actually up north having a baby, making me a granddad. But to give you a perspective of the view, check this out. We are standing, I believe this is the flagger section over here. We got a raised bridge over there. Check that out. You got a yacht passing right through, and to give you a perspective of the size, you can see that little tiny boat over here, and then you see that yacht right crossing by. Okay, great, beautiful view. Now check it out behind me, crew. We got a beautiful sunny day out here in West Palm Beach, and then we're down south working. Let's talk about the job that we're working in. All right, so we'll give you a tour. Down over here, we're doing a Savant lighting system. We're also installing some TVs, and let me show you the work that has been done so far. Actually, off camera, we have a Samsung frame TV installed above the fireplace. We also can see that we have a Savant control system. Here it is. This is the X2 or the RM4000 remote control. We're also going to be installing another small frame TV right here, cantilever to the kitchen. This is some of the LED work waffles that we have installed. So I actually ripped out all the old incandescent cans.
Pardon for the interruption, crew. Even though it seems as though my dad did the whole incandescent lights off camera, thankfully he recorded footage of him taking down the incandescent lights and also reusing that same Romex to install the new LED waffles that are going into this part of the kitchen. So of course, and as always, enjoy this part of the time lapse and stick around, and who knows what you'll see next.
Ripped them out and ran some brand new wiring and installed the 6-inch LEDs. So see that? Now the reason why they're hanging is because we're gonna be adding what they call goof rings, which hides the imperfections around the cutouts. And over here at the wet bar, I've also installed LED strips. I don't know if you guys can see that. In fact, let's see if we can turn those on. All right, let me see. That's not it. That's not it. I am doing a bad demo here. There it is. All right, see that, folks? That's the LED strip that we installed underneath the, we call this the coffee bar or the wet bar. Right? So in the morning they either make coffee or later in the afternoon they do a little bit of wine time in there. All right, let's keep on going on through the kitchen. Check it out. Check out this big, beautiful kitchen. And let me go ahead and take you to one of the rooms that I did some work. All right, over here, this is the laundry. And in the laundry we had these ugly garage light size fluorescent lighting. We ripped those out. You can see that I ripped them out off camera and then installed some brand new LED lighting in here. The lady that's in charge of the cleaning this place, she is loving the lighting that we did here for her. And then of course that is Savant, and controlled by Savant. Here's Savant dimmer right there. And let's go ahead and check out what's happening in the other side, which is the bathroom. All right, let's go.
Before we get to the tour of the bathroom, crew, what my dad forgot to mention was that he also recorded the process of him installing the Samsung frame TV, which was the secondary TV that he mentioned that was getting installed in this very same room. Now, the very cool thing about this process was that if you notice, my dad took the piece of paneling that was going on that part of the cabinet there that was custom built for the TV. Not only that, it also allowed my dad to work freely, meaning he was able to take as many measurements, take his time, and not only that, it came out perfect, as you will see eventually when the TV fits right snug into that compartment in the cabinet. Now, enough yapping from me, crew, as you'll see my dad putting up this television, and once that's over, we'll get to that tour of the bathroom you guys are waiting for.
All right, crew. Well, progress continues on that master bathroom. Let me go ahead and take you to pretty much where I've been working. So I'm going to take it to my office. Don't know how the time lapses are going to be falling in when Justin edits this video, but let me show you where I've been working. All right, crew. So where I've been working, unsure on the video where Justin's going to lay in some of these time lapses, but in the past couple of days, I actually have been working in this mechanical room, which is adjacent to the penthouse unit right over here. And that's actually on the service elevator. So back that way is the service elevator. This is where most deliveries come in. And then, whoop, I almost fell. This is, I tripped on that drill right there, and I'm sorry. This is actually the service entry door that we've been coming in and out. So where I've been working, it's in this mechanical room. See that? Mechanical room. And in here we have the AC furnace. We have all the panelized electrical. So what I've been working on is the panelized electrical. All right, panelized lighting, panelized smart lighting. So the way that works is that normally in a house, when you walk in, I don't know if you witnessed that, you see a wall and you see a bunch of switches on the wall and you're trying to figure out which light is what. And then, you know, even you've been living there for a while, you figure that, you know, I should know what these lights are, but I keep forgetting. Some people put labels. And so you would see a bunch of switches on the wall and you would turn this on and then you see a bunch of switches on the other side of the wall. Well, if you have a friendly budget to do so, you can go with what is called panelized lighting. And what that does is instead of actually having all those switches localized on the rooms, all the loads actually come into the can right over here.
For any eagle-eyed viewers out there, you'll notice that my dad had already installed plastic gang boxes on the left, in which he is currently working on in his time-lapse. The reason why I'm telling you this, crew, is because I wanted to show you the work that my dad had done prior already before he was going to go on his said tangent and explain what the system does and the sciences behind the switches and then the modules that are also going onto this installation as well. So as always, crew, enjoy the time-lapse, and then we'll get to what you always look forward to, my dad's tangents.
Okay, cool. So in the past couple of days, you might have seen on those time lapses, you might have seen me taking apart some of these panelized lighting. So the reason why we're changing out the lighting is because not so much as the lighting, but the lighting control system. We're either changing it or upgrading it. Now, they had an old school Savant system that we're ripping out and we're putting a new one. We had an existing light touch, which is this particular system is discontinued. And so the reason why this panelized lighting is, like I said, you're not gonna have that big switches on the wall that are confusing you, see what it is. At that wall, we just put a multi-button keypad, 4 buttons, 6 buttons, whatever it's gonna be. We can program and engrave those buttons. You know, it'll say family room, living room. You just one single button. That button will then transpond over this way to the control center and then turn on the light that needs to be turned on. So you might have seen on the time lapse that I was removing some of these panelized modules that are on here because we're gonna discontinue them. Now, ideally, on a panelized lighting, you would put modules and then you would install all your loads in there. You'll bring in the circuit, which is right over here. So from here, the electrician just brings the circuit directly into here, and then from here directly to the light, okay? The circuit will not go to the switch at the wall and then go to the light. No, that will go right over here to the circuit panel, to the module panel. And then from here, we have all the local loads that are gonna be going to the light. So what I'm doing is it's removing all these, labeling all my cables over here. So I found some of them and then I numbered the circuit that's right over here and I'm working with it right off. And so ideally what we were gonna do, we're gonna put Savant panelized, but I believe the contractor said that they're back ordered and it's gonna be a while to get them and we gotta get this job pretty much finished. So there's the other way of doing it. The proper way of doing it, crew, is to actually install the panelized modules in here, and then they're made out of metal. They dissipate the heat that comes from the light. So back then, in the days of incandescent, which it was controlling a lot of heat, some of these would be metal. But these days it's actually LEDs, which is it consumes a lot less wattage. So this is the other, I like to call the poor man's solution. And what we did is we installed plastic gang boxes over here. We did not install metal gang boxes because we are using localized switches. So these are the switches that would actually go back around the house that you put on the wall. So what we're doing is we're actually putting them all together right here inside the panel, and I'm putting 4 switches per gang box. So we're doing 4 gang box over here, see that? And then they're plastic. And the reason why I'm using plastic is they're actually Wi-Fi. So if we were to use metal boxes, we would have minimized the Wi-Fi signal to get in here. We could have put a Wi-Fi access point right in here, but by the time you put metal boxes in here and then you close the cover, you're totally minimizing and eating up the Wi-Fi signal that we need for these switches to communicate when the client presses a button at the other end. Okay, crew, so as I mentioned before, a second ago, we are using plastic gang boxes in here so we can have a strong Wi-Fi signal so we can communicate with our switches. If you notice, I actually have 4 switches inside of a 4 gang on here. So we're using the Savant dimmers right here. So if you notice, I actually have them all packed in. Every box, I'm actually making sure that I have my ground, my neutral that leads back to the bus bar that's right over here. And then we have different circuits, so I'm making sure that the neutral matches that particular circuit bar. I got my grounding bar right over here, which I'm grounding I'm bringing in a ground everywhere, and I'm using some Wagos in here. So here's my load, here's my circuit number that I'm working with. I don't know if you can see that. Here's my load, my circuit, my grounding, my neutral that leads to the proper bus. And I'm actually gonna keep installing more switches here, and then we have some of them labeled. And what I have to do is just keep installing these switches in here. And I'm gonna be removing those cans there too. We're gonna be installing some there too as well. And let me talk to you about what else is around here. So over here we got the internet and DirecTV, which is the MDU that's up in the, now that I got that open, crew over here. So we got the internet modem that's in here, that's bringing in a phone line. We have our DirecTV line feed that's right over here. Okay, so that's coming in from the roof. This is a multi-dwelling unit, which is MDU, that's what they call it on a building. So the dish is actually up and up in the rooftop, and then throughout every floor, they're bringing in the coax through every floor. And then down over here, let's see, this is actually the phone line system, and we got some punch down blocks in here and some internet cabling for bringing in network over here. Okay, so, but I am not working on that right now. I'm actually working on the electrical I'm actually working on the electrical panel right over here. All right, so I think I've been yapping enough, and let me go ahead and keep going. And let's just keep on working. Let's go. West Palm Beach, bro.
And to close out the video, crew, you're going to see the remainder of the work my dad had to do with this electrical panel, which is exactly what he mentioned, which was adding all the switches, making sure that the copper needs to go exactly where they need to go according to each color of the switch. And to close out the video, crew, you're going to see what I consider an inside look of what it takes to cable manage each individual cable. And not only that, but taking into consideration what it takes for high voltage or low voltage, such as like data rooms, server racks, or for electrical purposes, circuit panels, or even lighting panels such as what my dad is working on right now. Now, crew, I hope you enjoy the cable management part of the video, and as always, stay tuned for the next Home Media Bliss video. But don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment. It would really help out.